might be thinking, Nitro, don't you usually do Stein Gate on Thursday? Well, yes, but work tired me out very much on Saturday. So I had to say, no, we'll stream it Saturday. Because, quite frankly, up until probably about 5 minutes ago, no idea. No idea what I was going to stream. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, forgot to make plans with people, so therefore I'm on my own for something. I don't want to do Genshin again. Like, so I could. There's a lot to do Genshin right now. Now with 4.6 out. But I was like, nah. Like, that would be. Nah, that's fine. Then if I don't do that. And then, so I could probably just do that stuff off stream as per usual. So, I was just like, hey, I had to skip Thursday stream, so why not just do the Stein Gate stuff? So, I was just like, yep, here we are, Steins Gate. Now, what am I doing next Saturday? No clue yet. That's why Saturday stream is usually just something. So that way I have, like, time to, like, talk to people. I don't have to talk to people about it, like, today before I make a schedule. And I don't like having plans, like, completely set in stone. So, up until, like, maybe, like, the day or two before. That's why in general chat, in Discord, I was like, oh, it's not me on Thursday panicking of what to do on Saturday. So, that's kind of how everything happened. It's like, yeah, here we are, doing Science Week. Now, this is probably going to be, like, a normal length stream, like, maybe 2.5 hours. Maybe a little longer because it's Saturday and I don't have to be up for anything in the morning on Saturday. And I would say I would plan something tomorrow since I have Monday off of work because I work for Jewish people. That's all you need to know why I have Monday off. So anyway, so I'm not having anything planned for those times, but it should be like, you know, back to the normal Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday streams for me. But what am I doing on those streams? Well, Tuesday and Thursday should be obvious. Tuesdays, Constellation and the Diabolic Box, and Thursday should be Steins Gate if I'm not too tired. So, but then, and all that jazz. And that's kind of how, like, things always are. It's like, my day job is my top priority. It's like, I love doing this, don't get me wrong, I love streaming. But actually paying bills, well, I actually pay bills. But, you know, saving up to move out of my parents' house, which is, I've been doing so much of this recently. I've been hard focused on that because I know I want that to be, like, it feels weird that I'm 25 years old and I'm still looking at my parents. But I don't mind it because it's a pretty good gig. You know, I may not have food on the table every day because I make my own food. But, you know, I have a roof over my head and a great place to, you know, to stream where people don't come at me for yelling because I got yelled. Which isn't often because I don't normally play horror games. Or I'm laughing hard because something silly in the game happened. You know, my parents understand. So they don't know that I stream. Probably later. They probably just think, oh, she's just playing games with her friends again. Because I do that a lot. So, yeah. Yup. Anyways, let's just jump into get maybe super to the tab first. So, yeah. Let's just go right into it. Alright, we're here with Shushua. Shushua Mai was about to run out of patience. The cause was the young man in the room with her father. Daru, what did you do? Hachiya Hashida, aka Daru, he's a massively obese body, was leaning towards over the computer monitor. He had a droopy ring on his face. What pornographic sites have you gone onto this time? He finally got up around 11 a.m., gulped down 3 cups of instant ramen, and now was surfing the internet. Can I just say I don't like the overalls on him, the suspenders on him. I mean, maybe if they were black it would look better, but the red on the green looks awful. Match with his yellow hat. Man, this man has no fashion sense. What does Yuki see in him? Oh! Oh! What? Wait, normies must IP and penitents are husbands and wives. Nobody told me about this. Fictional. A female freelance illustrator. She primarily does illustrations for Nayaka video and Vocaloid songs, and is most popular with young women. Normies must IP. A Vocaloid producer. 2 of his videos have exceeded over 1 million views. Popular with the unique world as he builds his lyrics. As his name suggests, many of his songs criticize normies or criticize himself for not having any friends. His songs are a source of support for reviewers in similar dire straits. His songs always feature images by his same illustrator, Pat Asran, and her cute illustrations are another source of popularity. Nope, wrong button. And wait, his handle is Normies Must Die? But he's a normal. He's got a wife! That's not fair! Wait, hold on. We had the tips about what normies were. What were normies again? Oh, Amethyst, the Latin for beloved of God, and the middle name for the Australian composer Mozart. There's also a play and movie about Mozart of the same name. Good thing they're in alphabetical order, so... Ah, there we go, normies! People who live satisfying or fulfilled normal lives. For example, people with lots of friends, or girlfriends, or people with girlfriends, or people who spend a lot of time at school clubs, who go to party, who aren't interested in anime, who aren't going outside of Japan who go outside during Japan's summer break. Right, we established that I am no normie because I don't go outside Japan at summer break. Also, I'm an adult who doesn't have. I thought he was on the side of us loners. Don't worry. There's a girl who loves you, Daru. I don't see what she sees in you, but she's got a lot of work to do with you. Yuki's got a lot of work to do with you, Daru. This means war. It's trolling time! Whoa! TLR at Chandler and Twitter. Endgame Universe Twitter? A name of a microblog software app. Lots of tweets up to 140 characters and links. The tweets are from a mother of followers you can be used in a timeline, allowing it to be used as a chat program. So basically, in-game Twitter. Are already pissed off. I missed the boat. I need to go back and look at the timeline again. Dad! The fact that she's like, canonly, she's like the same age as this character right now, as him. It's just like, it's so funny of her just being like, Dad, you're so embarrassing and stuff. It's so funny to me. Hey. Yes. You know, I mean, the gloves do a little bit, but this is what Chishiro calls her father. It was who he was after all, so there's nothing else to call him. Chishiro was a time traveler from the year 2036, and 7 years from now, he would become her father. Stop screwing around! All you ever do is lie around and eat. Look at the internet, or play video games. Okay, he's not a normie. Did we not discuss this? I told you that nothing but instant noodles. I told you that nothing but instant noodles and snack will make you sick. But that's still all you ever eat. In fact, his PC desk was covered in snacks. She cleaned it regularly, but it never seemed to make a difference. And I keep telling you to exercise, but you never do. Shisho realized that she was complaining more than usual, but she had to say it anyways. This is great in the future. Then she realized that Ayate wasn't even listening to her. His eyes was fixed on the computer monitor. He moved his mouse out of sight, but she could still hear him click it. Listen to me! She approached her father from behind and put the hairspray can she's been hiding up his neck. Ah! Yato seems to think it's a gun. He stuck up his hand. Might be the first time he's been held at gunpoint. Well, I mean, to be fair, most people in this game have been held at gunpoint. Actually, that's a lie. Only Katsuru, Okurin, Ito, and Maru were held at gunpoint. One of them held people at gunpoint. Oh! We don't talk about shining fingers. I can't remember. So it's like this. It's worked. They worked because she told him that she would survive the Third World War and the worlds of chaos of 2036, and she was ready to draw a gun and pull the trigger whenever she needed to. The Shushuwa! If you don't stop, Daddy's gonna get mad. I'm getting mad at you right now. Right, sorry. But you know about my secret job, right? I'm pretty busy with that. When you're good as a hacker as I am, there's always tons of offers. I don't have time to eat real food right now. And there's the time difference with overseas clients, so sometimes I'm up all night. In the future, you used to say that all the time, and then Mom would always get mad at you. Yeah, Yuki's got a lot of work with him. A lot of work needs to be done, Yuki. What do you see in this man? It's obvious that Yuki is in love. I think it's quite obvious that Yuki likes Daru. And I don't know what she sees in him, quite frankly. Even if, for the sake of argument, you can't do anything about your sleep schedule. I can't let you keep eating all this unhealthy food. You'll stop immediately. Got it? But work's hard and so is the time and research. I need to relax. He just said that. You said an excuse to suck off. You're being a spoiled brat, Dad. Shisha was always amazed that her dad managed to survive the future's wars. But since the time machine research would affect the future, eventually Shisha was very, very present here. She couldn't tell him to stop. Even after Okabe stopped coming to the future like Gabit, Irito had kept working on the time machine all by himself. Shisha never said a word about it. If she did, it might create a time paradox. Just remember, you can't examine the time machine that came from the future you built on your own. She decided to warn him again. I know that, but sometimes I lose confidence. Can I really make a time machine? Well, apparently you did so. Of course you can. Hang in there. Okay. You should have took the hairspray can off his neck. Hey! I was sure that was a gun and it wasn't. How can you trick your phone dad? I will never get over the fact that she's like, how can you do? I am your father. It's like, we're the same. Right now, we are the same age. Right now, they are the same age, basically. But then the only difference is she's from 2036. Right. Because that would make her like, yeah. I'll use a real one next time, okay? Please don't. She would. I feel like she would. Just to put the canned hairspray back in the shelf. It was something Rentaro Okabe had left here when he lived in the lab. It was still here since the owner never came back for it. You know, in manga and video games, always really cute when a girl scolds her dad. It's a little weird when the dad's into it, so. Can you just say, oh jeez, don't do that, Papa? And real sweet voice can. What does Yuki see in him? Same Shishua. Never mind. Her dad shrank a glare from Shishua's glare. Shishua sighed loudly and dropped herself on the sofa. She leaned back against the headrest and stared at the ceiling and then closed her eyes. What's wrong? It's nothing. You can't hide it from me. When you say it's nothing, that means I want you to listen to me, right? Wow, it's like he's a dad. Well, he will be in 7 years. Huh? Come on, tell me. I'm your dad, after all. Dara sounded very serious. Shishua's eyes went wide for a moment, but then she realized. That line. That was in the girl game you were playing earlier, wasn't it? Ugh! That's praise that triggers the flag, right? Flag, computer game lingo, a type of foreshadowing that means a common trope is about to occur. For an example, in an XXXX game, it means that something in the future, sometimes in the future, XXX will happen. Death flags are, unless are common examples. She's been living here for 3 months. She was starting to learn a little about Akabara culture circa 2010. Dad, you better not be thinking about trying to take my route, okay? I'm not! I wouldn't do that to my own daughter! Oh good, he has morals. Really? I wondered about you in the future. Huh? Oh, so he doesn't have morals. Even after I hit puberty, you always kept asking me to take baths with you. What? That's scary. I was in the military, and you were always working on the time machine, and we couldn't always be together. But you always got huggy around me. It was like kind of obnoxious. Her dad looked honestly depressed, and she realized that she's gone too far. You always said to me, you know, this is the worst world line possible, but your birth was the best thing that could have happened. I don't want to disappoint the future you, Dad. So, you need to convince Uncle Okabe, no matter what. It's It's okay. I'll never be disappointed in you.
そうかな。
Really?
うん。
Yeah.
けどね、
But
おじさんは
it's just
どうしても話を
won't
聞いてくれ
listen
ないよ。
to me.
うーん。
Well, do you know all the trauma he had to deal with in the first game, Joshua?
このままじゃ
It's not
おじさん
going
は
back
過去へ
to
行
the
かない。
past like this.
マキセ・クリス
You
を
won't
救
rescue
出しない。
Pastor Muskie.
シュタインズゲートにも到
Reach
達しない。
Gate. Ah! She said the name of the game. STEINS Gate. That was the name of the mysterious world line her dad told her about in 2036, where World War III might not occur. Leading Ota and Okube to that world line was her mission. But right now, it wasn't going well. Juju had come back to 2010, just like the mission had called for, and she succeeded in sending a note from Toro Okube to July 28th. But then he failed. He wasn't going to try again. Every time they met, she tried to convince him, but who knew if her words were having any effect?
結局、
In the
第
end,
三次世界大戦に
world line
世
will
界線は収
merge
束して
into the third
大
world.
勢の人たち
war.
が殺戮される。
Many people will be
それを
killed.
変えるために私は来た
I'm
の
here
に
to change that.
何もできない運命
Fate says that
なの
I
かな。
can't. Shishua had something else she had to do here in Akaba in December 2010. Besides convincing Rentoro Okabe, and it meant she was running around every other day. The exhaustion was starting to take its toll on her. During the war, she's been able to keep herself sharp at all times. At this level of exhaustion wouldn't have meant anything. The relaxed atmosphere of 2010 was actually making her realize how tired she was. She was very sleepy right now, actually. She was surprised at how willing she was to fall asleep in such an undefensive position. But she didn't think she could beat the temptation. And suddenly she felt something extremely cold on her back of her neck. She snapped awake in an instant. Her movements after that were lightning quick. She jumped and slid behind the massive body in front of her, which obviously belonged to Erita, then grabbed his arm and twisted it as she dropped him to the floor. She went to draw the gun at her hip, and her hand swiped through the empty air. And then she came back to reality. Her gun was hidden. She wasn't carrying it. This wasn't 2036. Ow! 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 Jeez! 2 cans of Dr. P clattered up to the floor. That must have been what he put on her neck. Oh, what are you doing, Dad? Getting you back!
ぼーっとしてたから
I was half
なんか殺
asleep,
しちゃうとこ
so
だっ
I
たよ
almost killed you!
そういう訓
I
練
told
受け
you
てき
that's
たん
not
だから
that's how I've been
それ
trained.
じゃ済まないんだって
That could have turned out really badly for you. Fine. Let me go. This really hurts. Please don't kill your dad. That would create a paradox, though. Like, wouldn't that be an extension of the grandpa paradox, where if you go back into the future and kill your own grandpa, how would you even be born? But instead of you're not going 2 generations back, you're just going 1 generation back.
まったくもう
Oh, sheesh. She should have let her father go. Ow. Ayato rubbed his arms and stood up. And then he grabbed the cans of Dr. P off the floor. He offered one to Shushawa. Anyway, you're giving up too soon. Keep at it. A little longer.
うん
I
think Okurin's just tired and sleeping. Put some cool Dr. P up to his neck like I just did, and then he'll wake up. I don't think that's what will happen. He'll probably just take Dr. P and drink it. It's his favorite drink, after all. I mean, it's Okarun we're talking about. Yeah. She's realizing her dad was trying to cheer her up, and nodded. Then she heard footsteps coming up the stairs, and some slightly off-key humming. Ah! Their eyes met. The sound was just enough to tell him who it was. Hide! Shishua!
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie! And Shishua moved fast, maybe even faster than when she knocked her father to the ground. She quickly and silently jumped behind the curtain to separate the lab development room from the rest of it. Just as she hid beneath the desk, there was a knock at the door. Hello? Shishua knew that voice, of course. It was her mom. She could tell from the noise that he was making that her dad was panicking. There's another knock. Mayu! Right. I'm coming! Alright, to open the door. Shishua took a deep breath and concentrated her mind. She remembered at the time she spent 3 days and 3 nights on the battlefield with no food and nothing to drink, constantly aiming her rifle at the target. She erased any traces of her presence that could give her away. Her breathing started to become shallow. Dad, don't screw this up, okay? Amanishi. You're meeting Manishi today? Ayu came back to the room. It was a girl. Yeah, we're supposed to practice cooking together. She could hear plastic bags rustling. She must have brought the ingredients. Mashi is not here yet. I see. Maybe I'm a little too early. Ayuki Amai. Just the name Amai suggests that she was Shishua's mother in the future. In other words, the two of them in the other room were supposed to get married. Well, if you two were supposed to meet, I'm sure she'll get here eventually, right? Can I wait here? Of course. You're going to be cooking here, right? Yeah, I hope you do some taste testing for us. Ashura? I don't know if I want to eat Mashi's cooking. It will be fine, Don't worry, Maharu's gotten a lot better lately. Ato was clearly nervous. As far as Shishua knew, the only girl he acted that way around was Yuki Amai. Shishua and Maru were basically family, and he got along fine with big sis Romi. There's Nanya, who worked at the maid cafe next door. So it wasn't like that he didn't know how to act around girls. But for some reason, he always acted differently when she was around. She told him that Yuki would be his wife someday. It was too late to do anything about it now, but maybe it was a mistake, she thought. Is your sister not here today? Huh? Yeah. I see. Ashura's sister was none other than Shishua herself. Around the same time, Shishua has started spending all of her time in the lab. Yuki has become friends with Maru and Natsu and began visiting more frequently, which means that avoiding her was almost impossible. So she was forced to tell Yuki that she was Natsu's little sister. But still, she wanted to keep the contact to a minimum in order to keep Yuki from finding out somehow. That's why she was hiding. Oh, right. What do you think of this outfit? I just bought it. Yuki showed no signs of noticing Shishua. She was twirling around in the center of the room as if she was at a fashion show. Yuki was a cosplayer and wanted as many people as possible to see her dress. Maru told that Shishua that once before. In fact, Yuki and Maru spent a lot of time complimenting each other's outfits.
うん
Yep.
いいよすごく
Great.
いい
Really great.
本当ですか？
Really?
うわー天
It's
使
like,
来たこ
whoa,
い
an
って
angel
感
from
じ
the wind.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
橋田さんも
You should dress up too, Hashida. Just lose a tiny bit of weight.
結
And
構
I
素
think
敵だと
you'll
思う
look
な。
wonderful.
ははは
Yeah. I can definitely tell that, yeah, this, you definitely get some reflection of, Shishima off of her.
私、
I
本当
mean,
ですよ。
seriously, you know?
おお
Oh. Hasuda and Yuki Amai. She listened to their awkward conversation. She sure remembered the last time that she said goodbye to her dad. Dad, he's keeping Squad have reached the Manashabai. That's a tip. One of the bridges south of Akabara that crosses over the Kantan River. The original Amanashi was built in a different spot. When the new Nashibachi Bridge was built in its current location, the old bridge became known as Old Nashibachi until it was taken down altogether in 1906. The bridge only came to the current arc shape after several year buildings, including one after the Great Kanto earthquake.
ということは
Which
ここ
means
が
it's
発見
only
さ
a
れる
matter
の
of
も時
time
間の
until
問題
they
か
find this
あ
place.
らかじめ
I
流
guess
しておい
that
た偽の
false
情報
information
も
I leaked
効
didn't
果なかったか
do us any good.
急が。
Let's hurry.
おう
Yeah,
開けるぞ
I'm opening it up.
すごい。こんなところに扉があった
There's
なん
a
て。
door here.
これなら
Will ever
誰にも
find
見つからない
this,
ね。
huh?
さあ中
Come inside.
ここって。
What is this place? The room was almost totally empty, and covered top from bottom with soundproof materials. Not only there were no windows, there wasn't even a door to the hallway. The building they were once was a symbol of old Akabara before it was almost entirely destroyed by an air raid during the last days of the Third World War. Only a few people knew about the secret room inside of it. The biggest reason for its secret was the silhouette of what looked like a satellite sitting in the corner.
あ、
Oh,
これ
this is the time machine.
タイムマシンだよね。これがタイムマシン。
Is this the time machine?
かがり。
Becky,
危ないからあん
it's
まり近
dangerous,
づくな。
so don't get too close. Fisher spoke to the little girl, clutching Maru's hand. Most of the children in this area skin inflammations around their body, all from radioactive rain, but she didn't. Her name was Kakiri Shina. Her registration form said she was 10 years old, but no one knew if that was true. She was an orphan who lost her parents in the Tokyo air raid. When she was a baby, nobody even knew her birthday. The name Kakiri was given to her by Maru, who was working at the child welfare center that had taken her in. She took it from the word kakabari, which means bonfire, and hoped that she could be a light even in these dark days. It has been 4 years since Maru had adopted her, and her name on the registration form had become Kakiri Shina.
綺麗だね、ママ。
Pretty mommy.
そう
Yeah,
ね。
it is. Joshua mentioned to the Shinas to step back to put her right hand and eye up to the machine censored by biometrics. Biometrics, the use of fingerprints, of voice and recognition, veins and iris scanning, etc., instead of a password. Checks cleared and the hatch slid open. She went inside and fastened herself into the seat.
これほど長時間の有人ジャンプは初めてだ
We have
が
never done a man jump of this length before, but technology is just fine. Just do it like a test jump.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. Shishua began to flip the switch, working her way through the startup procedures. She practiced it hundreds of times in preparations for this day. The faint rumbles of the machine began to get louder.
データによれば
According
昔
to
の
the
ラジカン
data,
は
the
ちょうど
stops
この
we
場所が屋上に
are
なってる。
in that were
ただし
the roof of the old
高さが
radio
1メー
building.
トルほどず
There's
れ
a
てるから
gap
な。
of
着地する
about
時
a
に
meter,
衝
so
撃
when you
がある
land,
と
there's
思う。
going to be an impact.
了解。
Roger. The time machine could move through space, but not space. To arrive at the radio building more than 60 years in the past, he needed to launch from right here.
トラブルが起きても冷静
Even
に
if
な。
something happens,
トレー
stay
ニングを
calm.
思い出せば
Remember
いい。
your training.
大丈夫だよ。
I'll be fine.
私は父さんの
I
マ
believe
シン
in
を
your
信じて
machine,
るから
Dad. Her words must have meant a lot to him because he stuck out his lips towards her. He squished them back with her hand.
気持ち悪い。
That's creepy!
悲しいな。
That makes me
鈴
sad.
子は父さ
You
ん
not
が
like
嫌
your
いか
dad
い。
Sushua?
父さんがやると
How do you do
なん
it?
か下
Like
心
you
がある
mean
みたいだから
something else.
いくらなんでも
Come
娘
on,
相手
I
に
wouldn't think
下
of my
心
own
なんて
daughters
ねえ。
that way.
最近母さんに
So who was it you
ハ
were
サハサ
saying? You're
ど
starting
っか
to
言ってた
remind
の
me
ど
of
こ
your...
の誰
So who was it who was saying that? You're starting to remind me of your mother, Pants. Her mother wasn't here. She became a victim of the war, brutally killed by the peacekeeping squad.
冗談を真に受けな
Don't
い
take
で
my
くれた
joke
まえ。
seriously, please.
なんだ
What?
冗談だったの
It was a joke? Shuro's voice sounded kind of disappointed. She set the destination for August 3rd, 1975. Her first mission was there.
これでよしそれじゃあ
That
父
does
さ
it.
ん
Okay,
ま
Dad?
ゆ姉さん
Maru? She was about to say her goodbyes. But then... That was from the roof. They're coming in. Damn it!
思ったより早
They're
い
faster than I thought. She just drew her gun from her holster. She was about to get out of the time machine, but her dad stopped her.
ダメだ。
No!
さっと止め。
Just go!
でも
But
さんたちが
yo,
俺たちのことはいい。
we'll be fine.
早く行け。
Just go, Shishua.
そんな
No! I can't!
マヤシ。
Mashi, get Kashi in here. Huh?
このマシンには
There's room for another person in here. Mara and Shishua's father picked up the sun carrier and stuffed her into the time machine.
すずちゃん
So,
かがり
take care of Caddy!
わかった
Okay. If Shishua's mission succeeded, the world line would be rebuilt, and it was likely that the present Cassie would cease to exist, and it might be pointless to send her. But even so, a mother wants her child to live. That's how Shishua's mom was too.
ママ
Mommy? Kaki finally seemed to understand what was going on. She called out to her mom. No! I don't wanna! I don't wanna!
大丈夫だよ
No! It's okay!
ちゃん
Kaki,
すずちゃんが一緒だから
okay?
ダメ
No! I wanna go with you!
過去へ行けば
If you go to the
昔
past,
のママがいるよ
you'll see the old
今
me.
よりずーっ
Be a
と
lot
若くて
younger than I am
マ
now.
マ
I bet
ちゃん
you'll
びっくり
be
するだろうな
surprised. Mario handed Kari a tiny keychain. It looked old, but it may have been brightly colored green one. But now it's completely faded.
ママがずっと大切に
This
して
is
きた
Mommy Zupa.
ウーパのキーホルダーだよ
I'm giving it to you.
かがりちゃんに
Take
あげる
good care of it.
大事にしてね
Okay? Fictional. A mascot character of the Redneck Katsu anime. A dog-like virtual pet. An egg with an egg-like shape, cylindrical body, and short, stubby legs. Comes in many different colors. It can't talk, but it can communicate by creating Oopa or Oopa! Once Presley Ferdinand Cassie's hand, she stepped back. Mario was smiling, but weeping at the same time.
いや
No! I don't wanna go! I wanna stay with you, Mommy! Mommy! Mommy!
ダメ
No!
かがり
Kaki,
おとなしくしてなさい
be quiet. Kaki found silence immediately. Even Shishua had never seen Mari use that tone of voice. That's how harshly she scolded her daughter. Kazu was quietly weeping and moving.
閉めるぞ
I'm closing the hatch. This time, the hatch really did begin to close. Inside the machine, and the outside of it, the two worlds were about to completely cut off from another. Whether Shishua's mission was successful or not, she would probably never see any of them again. So, make sure you take care of Kaki! And tell Grin that the STEINS gate really exists! Tell him, don't give up, no matter what, you moron.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie. And then the door was sealed shut, and Mario and Ito's voices disappeared along with the chaos outside.
父さん、
Dad,
大
I
好
love
き。
you. She whispered towards the door, now shielded shut.
行くよ、かがり。
Let's go, Kakiri. To the
かっこい
past. She booted up the time machine.
い。橋田さん、
橋田
掃除機はどこ？
Where's the vacuum? Shishiro snapped back to reality. Yuki was getting closer to the development room as she was heading.
えっと
Um,
カーテンの
It's for bringing the curtain. Oh, crap!
この奥？
Behind the curtain?
あ僕が持ってくる
I'll get it. Alright, Sid motioned her to stop and then quickly slid into the room. As she reached down to pick up the vacuum off the floor, his gaze locked with Shishua as she hid under the desk.
バレないようにして
Sure
よ。
she doesn't
父さん。
find out, Dad.
オキドキ
Okie dokie.
ありましたか？掃除機。
The vacuum?
あ
Oh!
うん
Yes! Eventually, Yuki was trying to be nice. Evidently, Yuki was trying to be nice by cleaning up. The place was pretty messy right now. Knowing Yuki's personality, Sushiro could imagine she wants to clean it. Yuto grabbed what looked like a vacuum cleaner off the floor and left the development room.
何ですか？
What is that thing?
未来ガジェット5号機
Future gadget number 5. Once again, I made a worthless object by GMO. Future gadget number 5, the future gadget of your dream, made by the connecting a dryer and a vacuum. It's the use of exhaust in the vacuum and in the dryer. The name comes from the famous anime about a phantom thief, Lupatan's sister.
分解すれば普通の
It
掃除
takes,
機として
if you
使
take
え
it
るは
apart,
ず
you can use it as a normal vacuum.
お掃除するた
A
めの掃
vacuum's
除機なの
supposed
に
to clean.
分解
If
し
you
た
take it
ら
apart,
かえっ
it
て
wouldn't
散らかすこ
just
とにな
make
りません？
wouldn't it just that thing more of a mess?
あ
橋田さん
You're
って
so smart,
頭
Hashida.
がいいのに
But
時々うっ
sometimes
かりなことし
can
ます
be
よね。
so silly.
そうかな
You think so? Aww. You're gonna be so cute together in so much more.
でもそういう人の方
But you
が
know,
私
I like people like that.
なん
What
だと
did you say? I should have started panicking, and she was sad.
ただ
But I
生
think
活に
you
ついては
really
見
do
直した
need
方が
to
いいと思うんで
reconsider
す。
the way you live.
お部屋の掃除はできれ
You
ば
should
毎
clean
日
every
した方が
day
いいですよ。
if you can.
ここ
This
特
place
に
gets
埃っぽい
really
ですし、
dusty.
それだけじゃありませ
And
ん。
that's not all.
食
There's
事のこ
also
ともそう
when
で
you
す。
there's also what you eat. You had instant ramen again today, didn't you?
な
How did you know?
お台所に
There was
食べ
a
残
half-eaten
したも
cup
の
of
放置
ramen
さ
in
れて
the
ます。
kitchen.
なるほど
それにお菓子
Look
も
at
こ
all
んな
these
にたくさん。
snacks. I tell you all the time that you eat too much.
一応気をつけて
I do try to watch it, you
う
know.
ん
一応じゃダメ
Trying
です。
isn't good enough.
あんまりカッ
You
プ
keep
麺や
eating
お菓子ば
nothing
かり
but
食べ
cup
てると病気に
noodle
なっ
and
ちゃいます
snacks.
よ。
You're gonna get
Ah.
sick, okay?
少しは
Also,
運
you
動
need
す
to
ること。
exercise a little. like mother, like daughter. Yuki and I was saying the exact same thing that Joshua had just said. Perhaps they really were. What did I just say? I just said like mother, like daughter. You fool. Joshua was just beginning to feel a little homesick when she sensed another visitor approaching. The door to the lab opening, and a greeting she heard many times before resigning to the room. Bye, Yuki. I'm a little late. It was Maru coming to see Yuki, but there's another presence there too. Hi there, Maru. I see Okabe is with you. Oh, Okarin! It's been forever, man! Oh. Yeah. It has. When she heard his voice, Joshua grounded her teeth a little. Interesting. What did you say? Didn't you hear me? I said it was interesting. You're not gonna tell me what you want to. You're not gonna tell me You're not gonna tell me what you want to go, are you? I'd love to. I shouldn't have told you. I was standing in the middle of the Akabara with the smartphone in one hand, staring up at the sky. I've been trying to talk to Amethyst Castor as much as possible lately. Sometimes I would contact her, and sometimes Castor would contact me. It didn't feel any different than having a friend who lived in the real world. Talking on a smartphone in a crowded place like this was a little embarrassing, but I told myself that compared to things I am used to, it was nothing. I was choosing a harmless topic for discussion, but it still reminded me so much of talking to the old Castor that I sometimes forgot myself. I'd done that just now when I accidentally told her about the lab, and she has seized on it. So this lab you were talking about, did the original me ever go there? Yeah. No. Bullshit. Well, that tells me nothing. Which is it? Never. Bullshit. Castor has been part of the lab in the Alpha World line. In this world line, she died before even becoming a lab member. Of course, she never even knew where it was. You seem to have the wrong idea. So let me straighten you out. We call it a lab, but it's not. It's just a group of people messing around. And Joshua is living there right now. And Dara spent a lot of time there. If they found out about Costers, things could get complicated. Especially if Joshua learned. I preferred if you would finish your sentences. It's nothing. Either way, I want to see more of the outside world. All the times I've talked to Maro and the professor, it's been inside the lab. That's why I'm out here on an early Sunday morning, taking you around like Akibaro. 10 a.m. Even at this hour in the area in front of Ikebaro Station was crowded. It was going to get even more crowded as it got closer to noon. I was willing to take you to Maiden's Road if I had to. What's that? There's a whole world there you know nothing about. Wait, I just looked it up. Are you really interested? Of course not! Hold on, I need to look it up. Hold on. I need the history here. Oh, it's literally just a place in Akabaro. Take the train to Akabaro Station and goes to the Sunshine City exit. Walk towards Sunshine City and keep going and past it, crossing the road under the overpass to reach Ototome Road. Ototome Road is also what they call Maiden's Road. So. Anyways, take me to this lab of yours today. Now that you've told me about it, you need to take responsibility. Got it? And then she hung up. It was like I was her own personal taxi service. Katsuru couldn't move around on her own, so there was no way of getting around that, but... Jeez. So selfish. You're the one who chose to do this. She didn't seem to think very highly of me. No! I wonder where she got that idea from! At this rate, she might start treating me worse than a servant. Eh. The real Katsuru was one thing. Or no. Maybe it wasn't. But being treated that way by the artificial Katsuru was incredibly humiliating. Wouldn't it be humiliate? Wouldn't it be it would be a humiliation for all of humanity. No, it wouldn't. Just for you, Okudun. Hold on, I'm getting hot in my room, so I need to do something real quick. Yeah, it's like 70 degrees or so, and I'm wearing a fucking long sleeve shirt. Don't worry, I'm wearing like shorts. I'm not an animal. But for a long part of it, I was just wearing goddamn. I was just wearing, but I just needed my hair out of my way, so I just had to put it up. Beauty is the being of Vtuber. You never would have known unless I said so. Maybe I should do something. As I mumbled to myself. Huh? Okudun? Maru called out to me. She was carrying lots of bags. It's probably materials for one of her costumes. Hey! Were you just talking to someone? Huh? That was... I love this thing every time. Okay. There's so many good options. But this one makes me laugh, so... A friend from my class at college. Right. Right. I love doing that kind of shit. I see. Are you going to go meet them today, too? No. I don't have any plans for today. Are you going to work tomorrow? Nope. I'm meeting Yuki at the lab. The lab? Was this good timing or bad timing? Yes. That doesn't answer the question.
そうだ
I know.
オカリ
Why don't you
も
come with
久しぶ
me?
りに一緒
It's
に
been
行か
so
ない
long. And you
Yuki-san
get
の
to
手料理
you
を
get
食べ
some
れる
cooking.
それとね
And must do.
まゆしーも頑張って作る予定なのでどうかな
How about it? In the end, I went with her.
ずいぶん嬉しそう
You
だ
look really happy.
嬉しい
I am happy. Myra's been smiling the whole time, but I was the opposite. The minute I got here, I was so nervous. I felt like I was about to throw up. I didn't really want to see Shishua.
あ
Huh?
おお、岡
Are
部
you
じゃね
okay,
えか。
Okabe? Mr. Braun! He's still in this game! Yes! Well, I mean, Yay is a part of this game, right?
お
Yeah? The doors to the Braun Tube workshop was the first floor open. On the first floor open and came out the building's owner, Yuki Tantaro.
店長さん
It's the Tantaro! Doo-doo!
おう、
Hey there.
うわー T シャツ1枚で寒くないですか
Well, he's a big muscly man.
ふん。
The only big muscly man who's ever made me cry. I'm pretty tough. I can't believe they didn't give him a winter outfit. No, actually, I can't believe it though. I can't believe they didn't. When I've been living in the lab, I've given him the nickname Mr. Braun. It's been a long time since I've seen him.
岡部、
Okay,
その様
from
子
the
じ
looks
ゃ
of it, you're
ちゃん
actually
と大
making
学生やっ
something
てる
of
みたいじゃね
yourself
えか。
at college.
どうも
Thanks.
そういえば家賃って
Come to think of it,
どうした
how
の
are we handling the rent? I asked Maru instead of him. I used to give it directly to Tantru, but
えっとね
橋田がちゃ
I
んと
should
振
have
り
boss
込ん
has
でくれて
the
るか
money when
ら
it's
安
due.
心しな。
Don't worry.
そうですか
See?
おう、
Yeah. That's actually one thing I've been bugging on. It's like, if Okarin never goes to the lab, does he pay for the lab? And if so, how do they still have the lab? This man. Was he around during this world line too? Well, let's see. He's probably been around here for a while. So... Probably is FB. Oh! Message! From who? How did things go with Kasser after that? No problems. I see. Anything you can tell me, no matter how small, would be a help. That she's interested in Maiden's Road, maybe. What's that? A place where a whole world that you know nothing about exists. Wait, I'll look it up. Bad idea. That darkness is very deep. I didn't look into it too much, to be honest. If there's anything that seems off, I'll let you know. Would you? I know it's a lot of trouble. Please and thank you. Oh yeah, I still want to use all those emotes as the actual Discord emotes in Discord. I couldn't help but be wary of him. That's why I started to put some distance between us. If nothing else, I'd avoid trying to interact with him.
じゃあね、
Bye
あ
now.
んま
Don't cause
暴
too
れん
much
なよ。
trouble. Oh, sure. Sandra says I was gone silent and went back inside. Mario looked over at me with a worried expression.
大丈夫
You okay?
やっぱり
You
帰る
don't want to go home?
行こう
Let's go. Sandra didn't matter. What mattered was, why was I here? Did I feel like something needed to change? Or did I realize I wanted to show Kasu the lab? I went up the stairs, still unsure of the answer.
トゥットゥル
Maru went in first.
ーごめんねゆきさん
Sorry, Yuki.
ちょっと遅れちゃ
I'm
っ
late.
たなゆりちゃん
Hey, I'm
Konnichiwa.
there, Maru. I peeked inside the room. Daru and Yuki were there. Their eyes went wide when they saw me.
岡部さんも一緒だ
I
った
see
んです
Okabe
ね
is with you.
お岡
Oh, Okaden, it's been forever, man.
あ
Oh, yeah,
久しぶり
it has. I quickly scanned the room. There's no sign of Shishua. Part of me was a little relieved.
入っても
Can I come in?
自分のラボで
It's
遠
your
慮
own
とか
lab,
ねえ
dude.
よ
Don't ask that.
それもそうか
That's true, I guess.
さすがにこの状況でクリスを呼び出すことはできなさそうだな
I followed Maru to the lab and tried to relax my legs by sitting on the couch. But I didn't feel relaxed at all. I felt like my own skin was crawling. I glanced over at Yuki.
ゆきさんその
What's up? This is so cute, Yuki!
なゆりちゃんにそう言
I
ってほ
wore it
しくて
because I wanted
着て
to
きた
hear
んだよ
you say that.
いいな
That's so
あ
nice.
ゆしも着てみたいのです
Swear it
後でお洋服取り
Wanna
替え
switch
て
outfits
みる
later?
サイズ合うかな
Would I be the right size? I heard about Yuki's future from Shishua too. I still couldn't believe that someone this pretty was going to marry Daru. Me neither! I can't believe it either! I don't know what she sees in him, but she's got a lot of work to do with that man. Even Daru seemed to share that opinion. That's how much it was a miracle it was. Yuki and Shishua really did look similar. There was no doubt that she was Shishua's mother. But still, Daru seems to be having trouble with her. He'd send lots of messages, complaining about how he didn't know how to deal with it. Were things perhaps starting to go wrong? The world lines converged, and the two of them were going to marry no matter what. Well, if they weren't gonna marry, would that mean... Oh, by the way, we're totally ignoring Kasuru right now. And I don't give a shit. Okay? We cannot let other people know about this yet. I ignored Kasuru's call. I was sure she'll complain about it later, but there were some things I couldn't just help. And then I saw an old vacuum lying on the floor. What's this thing? I asked myself, and then I realized there was future gadget number 5. What was it doing here? I put all the future gadgets back in the back room. No one was planning on cleaning with this thing, were they? We macrodived it to the point that it didn't work as a vacuum anymore. Oh, McDivered. Originally referred to as the act of stripping off the clothes out of a female figure whose clothes were never intended to be removed. From there, it came to mean more sorts of customizations that was far, far removed from the designer's original intent. Some figures, by the way, include clothes that were intended to be removed called cast-off. This was not counted as McDiving. I just put it away. I took Gadget 5 back to the back room. It felt even messier than it had last summer. Most of the new stuff belonged to Daru. I could see a lot of anime, computer games, and pre-ordered bonuses, the bookmarks, and figure boxes. But there was also a lot of the parts and machines that I didn't recognize. Was Daru really working on the time machine? I think I'll do it myself, if I have to. I promise Shishua. Just once, Daru and I had something like a fight over that time machine. I could still remember his exact words. It was rare for Daru to be so forceful about what he was thinking. Did I just hear something? There it was again. Was it a rat? Hey, Daru! It's a rat! Not a rat! It's a rattlesnake!
ヘビってなんだよ、ヘビ
You
って。
mean a
おじ
rattlesnake?
さん、
What do you mean
静か
by
に。
rattlesnake? Be quiet, Uncle. I knew that voice. I could sense it somewhere. Someone was moving around under the desk. I leaned down and fearfully took a peek. There was Shishua.
あ
Uh, what was she doing here? And then Dari walked in.
またネズミとか
Another rat? Seriously? Uh-oh. I tried to push Daru out, but it was too late.
やだ、
Oh
ネズミが
no!
いるんですか？
There's a rat?
ネズミ？
A rat? A snake? Where? Mario and Yuki were peeking from behind Daru's back.
鈴葉さん？
Shusha?
どうも。
Hi.
次のニュースです。
And now for our next story.
令和党の
Yakusu
駒沢康和
Yakusu Kazuma, a member of the Thai House of Representatives, held a press conference today at 10 a.m. and announced his resignation after accepting the legal donations from the corporations. Someone left the TV on. It was playing in the afternoon news. Shishua knew that no one was watching it, but she used the remote to turn the volume up anyway. She wanted to keep the girls in the shower room from hearing us. I could hear Maru and Yuki laughing from the shower. Things got really awkward when Yuki had found Shishua, but Maru quickly came up with a plan. At first, her plan was for the three of them, including Shishua, to take a shower naked together. Hopefully get Yuki and Shishua more comfortable around each other. They are mother and daughter after all. I'm pretty sure Shishua would. But Shishua said that the shower was too small for 3 people and refused.
参ったな。
What's the problem? Shishua was staring up at the ceiling.
鈴葉のせいじゃないよ
Not your fault,
オカリン
Shishua.
が悪いんだ
It's Ogre.
誰が事前に教
Your
えてくれ
fault
なか
for
った
not telling me about her earlier.
教えるタイミングなんてなかった
There
じゃん
wasn't
オカリ
time.
ンがいきなり
Just
もういいよ、二人とも。
forget it, guys.
私がうか
It
つだ
was
っただけで、
my mistake.
誰も悪くない。
Nobody else did.
そもそも
Why do you need to
彼女から隠
hide
れる
from
必要があ
her
るのか
anyway?
すでに
You've
誰の
already
妹
told
で
her
通っているんだから
your daughter's sister.
こそこそする方が
Hiding
逆
just
に
makes
怪し
you
ま
look
れるだ
more
ろう
suspicious. Shishua tried to avoid Yuki to begin with. Just meeting her father was enough to potentially cause a time paradox, she said. And at that chance, it went even more up if she met her mother. But Yuki had found her long before, and Shishua had been forced to say she was Daru's little sister. Yuki believed it. Why would it make things any more complicated?
そうなんだけど、
Sure, but Mom wants
母さん
to
が
be
思った
friends
以上
with
に
me.
私と仲良くなりたがるんだ。
Thought she would.
あ
If
ま
I
り
talk to
会
her
話しす
too
ぎる
much,
と
I
フォ
might
ローが出かね
slip
ない。
up.
自分とよく似てる人間
If you
が
see
現れた
someone
ら
who's just like you,
嫌悪
you
す
can
る
either
か
hate them or you
興味を示すかの
take
どちら
interest
か
in
だろ
them.
うな
I bet. And Yuki and Mai was the latter.
嫌われた方がずっと
But
楽だよ。
here she hated me.
いっそ事実を打ち明け
You could just tell her.
わけにもいかない
Or
か
maybe not. Right now, only a few people knew that Shishua was a time traveler. Me, Daru, Maru, and Ferris. That was all. Wait, when did Ferris learn? Oh, they probably just told her at some point.
つうかこのまま何も説明しなくていいんじゃね
Wait, do we have to explain anything at all?
天音はなんつうか
Maishi
秘密とか無理に
didn't
聞き
really
たがるような人じゃないと思
pray.
うんだよね
You should
鈴葉
know
ならよく
that,
わかって
right?
るんじゃないか
Shishua, she is your mom after all.
確かに未来の母さん
You're
は
right.
そんな人じゃなかったけ
in
ど
the future.
じゃあ大丈夫だ
Then
っ
what's
て
the problem?
いずれ時が来たら
When the time
僕から
comes,
ちゃんと
I'll
説明しと
explain
く
it
よ
to her.
本当？
Really?
あ
Yeah. But, you know, after they marry, right? Hey, do you remember that one girl who I said was like my little sister back in like 2010 when we first met? It's like, this is like on their honeymoon and shit. You'd be like, yeah, actually, that's gonna be the daughter we are conceiving today.
分かった。
I
父さんに任せ
I'll
る。
leave it to you. Shishua nodded.
で今後は
And
天
from
音
now on,
を露骨に
stop
叫ぶのを
trying
やめ
to
るっつう
avoid
こ
a
と
Maishi.
で
うまくやれるかどう
I
か
don't know if I can do that without screwing up.
大丈夫だって。
I'll be fine.
お前が言うなって
I don't know if
話だ
you're
よ
one
な
to talk though.
うん。
Hmm?
さっきだって
Look at it.
相変わらず
Look
苦
how
手意識
awkward
出し
you
まくってたじゃないか
You were with
お
her.
前
I'm not the problem here. What, you're gonna say I'm the problem?
うん。
And then the conversation come to a halt, which meant we were starting to think about the voices coming from the shower room.
つうわけで。
So, step out of it, Daru. Daru opened his mouth. Perhaps he couldn't take it anymore.
ニコ生見
Can I
て
go
もいい
watch
かな。
Nico live
ブラ
streaming?
チューの生特
The
番
Blood
がある
Teen
んだ。
stream now on now. Alright, tips 3. Blood Teen, fictional, an anime called Blood Teen, and the animation originally a manga. It was animated last year, and the show drew from a lot of attention from anime fans. And the main heroine, the Stella Ogura, became popular enough to have many figures. Nico live streaming. A live streaming service offered by the major streaming and NicoCon video.
不許可って言っても主張す
Even
るんで
even
し
if I
ょ
tell you no, right?
うん。
Yup. At least he's honest.
じゃあどうぞ
Go ahead. Yushua sat and Daru sat in front of the PC to put his headphones on.
何おじさ
What
ん
is it, Uncle?
いや
I was just thinking about how well you got along with your Bob's dad.
そうかな
Really?
ああ
Yeah.
未来でも
Daru
俺
was
は
like this in
こんな
the
感じだったんだ
future,
ろ
wasn't he?
もっと痩せててかっこ
He
よ
was
かったけど
thinner
ね
and cooler.
想像もつ
I
かな
can't
い
even
な
imagine. Well, you've seen the woman he marries, right?
うん
And the conversation died again. There was a ton of things I needed to talk to Shushua about, but that wasn't why I couldn't say a word. Maybe it was the same for her. Since there was nothing else to do, Shushua and I turned to the TV. The news was still on.
今日東京銀座
The
で
opening
フランスの
event
ファッショ
with
ンブランド
fashion brand
Le
Lea
Party の
Perez
オ
was
ープニ
held
ン
in
グイ
the
ベントが
Quincy
行わ
this
れました
morning. As the newscaster spoke, I could see over 100 women lined up in front of a store.
平和だね
It's so peaceful, isn't it?
私が物心つい
By
た
the
頃
time
に
I
は
was old enough
す
to
でにこんな
remember
光景は
anything,
存在しなかっ
this
た
is all gone. On the TV, a girl in a pretty outfit was talking to an interviewer.
羨ましいな
I'm jealous.
彼女たちは誰も
They
殺さ
don't
な
have
くて
to
いいし
kill anyone.
誰にも
They're
殺さ
going
れ
to
ないんだ
kill
ね
them.
私が育った時代は
In the
さ
world I grew up in,
相手が
you
男
couldn't
だろうと
kill with
女だ
no
ろうと
mercy.
容赦
No
な
matter
く
if they
殺さ
were
な
a
きゃいけ
man
な
or
か
a
ったんだ
woman.
次の瞬間には
Your life
自分の
could
命が
end
終わ
at
るか
any
もしれない
moment.
そ
That
んな恐怖が
terror was with you
寝て
every
も覚めて
second
も
of
つきまとっ
every
てた
day.
恐怖を忘れるた
The
め
only
には
way to forget the terror
狂気に
was
身を
to
任
give
せて
yourself over to
自
the
分が殺す側
enemy
に
and
回るし
become
か
one
な
of
かったよ
the killers. That was war. That was Shushua's life. I have been to many nightmarish world lines, but none of them were that bad.
父さんたちは
I've had to
タ
work
イム
on
マシンのことで
time machine
反政府組織とみなされてね
branded a rebel. Daru had made the time machine that brought Shushua here. It was far more powerful than the one that existed in the Alpha world line, also known as the time loop machine.
私も軍から離
He
脱
left
し
the
て
military
父
to
さんた
join
ちに
him
加
and
わっ
his
たか
group.
ら
And
警
the
察や
police
治安部隊に
peacekeeping
追われる
squad
ことになっ
came
た
after me.
それからは
The
も
battles
っともっと
after
ひどい
that
戦
were
闘が
worse.
何度もあっ
There
た
were a
よ
lot of them.
正義のための戦
I don't
い
want to use
なんて
the phrase
綺
fight
麗な言葉は
to
使い
good
たくない
fight.
たくさん殺したし
I killed a lot of people,
友達や仲間も大勢殺された
comrades.
その中には
One of them
私の
was
母さ
my
んもいた
mother. Not why she's so awkward around Amai, Yuki. Dario was still staring at the computer screen, but I could see him twitch. He must have been listening to Shushua stairwell while he pretended to look at the screen.
軍の無人機から
He
私を
tried to
守ろうと
protect
して
me from one of the army's
機
drones.
銃操作で死ん
He
だよ
was gunned down. This was the first time I heard how Yukimai died. She was in the next room right now having fun in the shower. And that's how she was going to die?
この目で
I
ズ
saw
タ
her
ズタにされていく
apart.
母さんを見た。
Nice.
この全身で
Your warm blood.
母さんの生温かい血を浴びた。
Maybe the reason Shishua didn't want to talk to her mother in 2010 was that she didn't want her asking about the future. There was no way Shishua could tell her that.
ね
Listen, Uncle.
え、おかりおじさん、
At some point, Shishua's eyes had started to overflow with tears.
この世界線の行き着く先
This
は
world can only go
地獄しかないんだ。
to hell.
今すぐじゃなくていい。
Be right now.
時間切れには
There's
ま
still
だ
a
少しだけ
little
時間があると思う。 だからもう一度だけその
about it.
考えて
Please.
お願い。お願いだよ。
俺は
I knew it. In my mind, I knew it. The right thing to do was do what as she asked. But
死にたくないよ。
the sensation I felt when the knife slipped into her flesh, and I took the life of the girl I loved. It went from my hand to my arm, and then the rest of my body, and I started shaking. My vision blurred, then almost went black. My hands went to my mouth. There was a wave of pain, like my stomach was turning inside out.
おじさ
Uncle?
大丈夫かおか
Are
り
you okay, Okurin? Yeah.
悪い
Sorry. Shishua poured me a cup of water and I gulped it down.
ん、ごめん。
Sorry.
こんなことまだ話すんじゃなかっ
Talk about it.
た。
This.
い
No.
や大したことない
I'm
大丈夫だ
fine. Spoken like true words. I sink into the sofa and try to calm down.
鈴葉の言いたいことも
I know what you want
気持
to
ちも
say,
よくわかるんだ
but
けど
I've gone through
俺は何度も
so many
世界線を漂流してきたこことは違う世界
seen
線で
people in other world lines
タイムマシンに運命を翻弄される人たちを見てきた
toyed by the time machine. I looked straight into Shishuo's eyes,
お前の非業の結末さえ
seeing your own tragic end. Well, you didn't really see it, but you know. Details.
俺自身もそれに巻き込まれて
I realized
何
I'm
もかも
powerless.
無力だってことを知った
Humanity was powerless before the laws of this world.
タイムマシンを使って世界
The
線を
time
改変す
machine
るのは
changed the world.
この宇宙の仕組みか
Means
ら
breaking
逸
the
脱
rules
すること
of
だ
the universe.
俺たち人間が手を出していい
It's not
領域じゃ
The
ない
province of humanity.
いわば
You could say it's
Kami
the
no
province
ryōbun
of
nanda.
God.
それに触れれば
If we try, we'll
俺たちは
suffer
もっともっと
an even more
残
horrible.
酷な罰を受けることになる俺は
That's what I
そう思
think.
う
それが
Is that what you're
オカリンおじさんの答えなの。
gotten?
少なくとも
For now,
今はな
nothing else.
そう。
I see.
ただの逃げだと
Feel free to
な
tell
じって
me
く
I'm
れて
just
もいい
running away.
ううん、
No,
そんなことしない
do
よ。
that. Shishua looked up the ceiling and sighed. It must have been a habit she picked up lately.
続いてのニュースです
And now our next top story.
厚生労働省は
The
ア
Ministry
メリ
of
カで
Health
猛威を振る
announced
っている
that
新型の
there
脳
had
炎ウイ
been
ルスについ
no
て
reported cases
今の
in
ところ
Japan of
日
the
本
new
国内
form
での
of
発症例は報告されていない
MSC
と
that is
発表し
raging
ま
in
した。
America.
ただ
But
こ
this
の新
new
型脳
virus
炎
has
は
long
潜伏期間が
incubation
長いことか
period,
ら
and they cannot
すでに
deny the
国内に上
possibility
陸して
that
い
it
る可
has
能性が
already
否定できな
arrived
い
in
として
Japan.
感染症法に基
The
づき
ministry has ordered
全国の
all
医療機
medical
関に対して
organizations
新
in
型
the
脳炎
country
対策
to
と
draw up
感染
treatment
症発生
plans
動向
and
の速
investigate
やかな
the
調査を
virus
指示し
and
ました。
spread.
ここからはお茶の
We are,
水医科大
we are
学の
here with
鳥
Soko
山壮子
Homama
教授
of
にお話を伺います。
Soko Hiramara of the Ochakanmanasu Medical University.
春山さん、
So, Miss
この新型の脳炎という
Hadamashiro,
のは
what sort of
具
symptoms
体的には
do this
どのような症
new
状が出るものなのでしょうか。
epidemic cause?
新型脳炎は
The new
感
virus
染
does
力は
not
弱い
spread
のです
easily,
が
but it
潜
has
伏期
a
間が
long
長く突然発症します。
incubation period and appears to
症
set
状
warning.
として
The
は
main
幻
symptoms are
覚や記憶
hallucinations
障
and
害が多い
memory
ですね。
problems.
例えば
For example,
そうですね。
you think you
会
were
社で
at
仕
work
事をしてい
and
たはずなの
suddenly
に
you
気
find
がつく
yourself
と
at
家
home
にいたりです
or you
とか
have memories
会ったこともない人
meeting
に会った
someone
記
you
憶が
never
あ
met.
るというような
There
症
have
例
been
が報告され
reports
てい
of
ます。
that.
あとは
Also,
実際には発
memories
生し
can
てい
be
ない事件
confused.
が起こった覚え
You
があ
might
る
have
などといっ
memories
た
of
記憶の
events
混
that
乱も現
never
れているよう
occurred.
です。
So it's reading Steiner.
夢と現実
You
の
lose
区
the
別がで
ability
きな
to
くな
tell
っ
the
たり、
differences between
時間
dreams
感
and
覚を
reality.
失った
Or
り、
perhaps your sense of
周りの
passage
人と
of
記憶
time
が
and
一致しなくな
your
るので
memories will no
錯
longer
乱状
match
態に
those of
陥
the
った
people
り、
around you.
いわゆる寝ぼ
You
けて
could
いるよう
describe it
な
as
状
a
態、
similar to
デジャ
deja
ブのようなもの
vu,
と
or
言いま
even
す
the
が、
feeling you get when
もっ
you're
と
only
症
half
状が
awake,
はっ
but
き
the
りしています。
symptoms are far more pronounced than that. Deja vu, the name of the strange sensation that you've been feeling that you've been in this situation before, even if you know that you can possibly have done so. The sensation is strong and realistic enough that it cannot simply be attributed to forgetfulness or imagination. But when you sense you can't remember, or when you experienced it before, it creates a strong feeling of uneasy. The cause of sensation is still unknown. One theory says that it's the result of an extraordinarily rare but temporary disjunction between the parts of the brain that all govern recall memory. There's also another theory that says it's the result of a temporary spasm of the hippocampus. What about the treatment methods?
他の脳炎と違い
Unlike
まして
other forms of
適切な治療を
acetylcholine,
受け
we
れ
know
ば
that
比
with
較的
the
速
proper
やかに
treatment,
完治するこ
a
とが
full
分かっています。
recovery is possible.
ですので、もし
So
国
even
内
if
で
we
感
done,
染者が出たとして
even
も、
if we do
それ
see
ほど
some
恐れる
cases
ことは
in
ないと思い
Japan,
ますよ。
it's not a matter for serious concern. The reporter was still talking. But I couldn't hear what she was saying. The information I just heard was that shocking. A new kind of epilepticus. I knew the symptoms she was describing. Losing the ability to discriminate the dreams and reality. Losing your sense of passage of time. Your memories are no longer matched to those of people around you. That's exactly the same as reading Steiner. I just said that! So basically it's reading Steiner! The interior of the time machine smelled like metal and was covered in instruments of different sizes. The girl inside was sobbing. It's been almost an hour since Shishua had left to go look around. She assumed that Katsuri would have stopped crying by then, but she had no such luck.
いつまで泣いてるつも
How
り
long
だ。
are you gonna keep crying?
しっかりしなきゃダ
You
メだ。
need to get it together.
まゆ姉さんの気
Think
持
about
ちを
how
考
big
えろ。
Maru felt. Katsushina looked up at Shishua, her face wet with tears.
ママ。
Mommy?
だから泣くんじゃない。
So don't cry.
うっとうしい。
It's annoying.
で
Shishua walked over to Katsuri and knelt down so that they'd be at eye level. She had no intention of spoiling her. Her goal was to save billions of lives, and this was her first mission.
いいか
Listen,
これから
From now
はかなりも
I'm
ワル
treating
キューレ
you
の一
as
員とみなす
a。member of Valkyrie.
私の部下として
You work
扱
for
う。
me.
非
You're
戦闘
not
員
a
じゃないからな。
civilian. Valkyrie. Demigama is from Norse mythology. Alright, cool. We're back to Norse mythology. Cool. There are many Valkyries. At least there are several dozens given names. They choose who will die in the battlefield and who will be victorious, and they take the souls of those who fought bravely to Valhalla to prepare for the coming of Ragnarok. The skull is one of the three Norns of the goddess of the future is a Valkyrie. Did we have an Operation Skuld in the first game? Because I know Ogren did a lot with Norse mythology when he was talking his Chinnable bullshit.
ここは1975年だ。
Year 1975.
知ってる人
Nobody
間は
we know
誰
is
もいな
alive
い。
here. Dad and Big
父
Sister
さんも
Mario
マヨ姉さんも
haven't
出
been
生
born
してな
yet.
い。
In other words,
つまり
there's no
誰も
one
守って
to
くれない
protect
んだ。
us.
自分の身を守る
The
のは
only
自
one
分だけだと思え。
can protect you is
いいな。
yourself. Got it? Yeah. Haru was a brave girl. She finally realized how it wasn't time for tears. She tried to stop crying. It wasn't working well, but it was a lot better from her emotions than sobbing. She was a smart girl. Shushuwa knew that.
あまり時間がない。
It's not a
この時代の人間にタイム
someone
マ
in
シンが
this
見つ
era
かった
finds
ら
a
大
time
騒ぎ
machine,
だ。
it will cause a big commotion. The time machine has landed on the roof of the radio building, which wasn't a spot that people visited often. The chances of anyone finding it were slim. But in this era, they had no one to help them conceal it. That meant they couldn't stay long. She needed to finish her mission quickly and move to the next time period.
何か失敗
If
したら
something goes
ま
wrong,
たタイム
can
マ
we
シン
just
で時
use
間を
the
戻
time
ればいいん
machine
じゃ
to
ない
go
の？
back?
燃料の問題があ
There's
るんだ。
not enough fuel. We
ジャ
can't
ンプ
just
でき
jump
る回数
instantly
は
and
無
every
限じ
time.
ゃない。
It won't
肝
work
心の
when
場
it
面で
really
動作しな
counts.
かったら話に
Then
なら
all
ない
of。this will be for nothing.
そうなんだ。立てるか？
Can you stand up? Juro stepped out of the time machine and beckoned to Kakuri. Kakuri looked surprised. Her eyes were narrow at the bright sunlight. The sky above Tokyo in this time period was too dirty to call blue. Smoke and dust clouds filled with the who knows what were rising above the rows of smokestacks. It all combined with the black exhaust from the cars that scurried along the ground to create smoke so thick that you could literally see it. The sky above the city was covered by a veil of death. But still, it was the first clear sky that Kakuri has ever seen. She's ever known from books and videos that the sky could be this bright. The nuclear weapons used during the Third World War had changed the weather over Tokyo, and the skies was consistently covered with a dull gray clouds. The sunlight was always weak, and when it shone through them, it was never this bright.
私が子供の頃は
When I was a kid,
まだこんな感じの空だった。
I don't remember much,
少しだけど
but I
覚え
remember
て
a
る。
little. Shusho looked up at the sky too.
空気が美味しい。
In 2036, you need a filter and a mask to go outside for any length of time. Compare that to 1975, there was a lot cleaner.
わかるだろ？かが
Now
り。
you understand why everyone was
父
willing
さんた
to
ちが
risk it all.
どうして世界線の
to change
改
the
変に
world
全てを
line,
かけていたのか。
Kakuri?
世界線がどうとか、
The world line,
歴史がどうとか、
history.
そんな理屈は
You
後
can
でい
worry
い。
about that stuff later.
今はた
For
だ
now, just
この
focus
空
on
の色を
protecting
守りたいと
the
思えば。
sky. Kakuri slipped her hand into her pocket and took out the faded green Upa keychain. She stared at it with a sad look on her face. She was probably thinking about Maru, her mother, and she was probably trying to understand what it meant that her mother had to put it inside the time machine. She sure decided that Kakuri was all right and closed the hatch of the time machine from the outside. The lock flipped automatically. The only person who could open it now was Shishua. Those biometrics had been loaded into the system ahead of time. Even if someone did find the machine, it would be a while before they found out what it was.
かがり、
Kakuri,
これを見ろ。
look at this. Shima handed her a printout of a photo.
これ何？
What is this?
IBN
A
5100
retro
ってい
PC
うレ
called
トロ
the
PC だ。
IBN 1500. Fictional. IBN is the first portable computer, which went on sale in 1975. The design includes an integrated monitor and keyboard. While it's described as portable, it weighs almost 75 kilograms. In the 2000s, Sean Titter revealed that there was a special computer language that could only be used on devices of this type, which was not described by the manual. IBM developers would later admit that he was correct.
私たちの時代に存在していたも
None
の
of the
は
ones in our
どれ
time
も満足に
still
動
work,
かない。
but here we should
この
be
時
able
代なら
to
感
find
動品が
a
入手
working
できる。これを手分けして探
Our
すの
first
が
mission
私とお前
is
の
to split
最
up
初のミッション
and
だ。
find it. Yeah,
連絡はこれで
then we can communicate with them. She handed Kakuri a small transceiver.
通信できる距離
I
は
was
かな
told
り
it doesn't
短いら
have a
しいか
very
ら
long range,
気休め
so
程
don't
度だと
expect
思
too
う。
much from it.
オーキードーキー。90分ごとにこの
Only
ビル
in
の
front
前に
of
集合。
the building
状況を確
every
認。
90 minutes
それを繰り
for a
返す。
status report.
いいな。
Got it?
オーキードーキ
Okie dokie.
ー。いい返事だ。
Good answer. Shishua nodded and patted Kakuri on the head.
よし、
Okay,
ミッション開始。
let's get started. Wait a second. Does she become like... Shishua was on the top of the radio building in 2010, looking down.
35年
35 years,
か。
huh? This is how long... That's how long ago it has been in real time since she's spoken to Kakuri here. From her perspective, it's only been a few months. The view from up here has changed a lot since then. In the next 26 years, it would change even more. She's seen herself how this building has changed over a span of 61 years. So it didn't make her feel sentimental. Instead, she felt the loneliness that fear that comes from having a past not shared with anyone else. Using the time machine to change the world lines means breaking the rules of the universe. Okaben's words flashed through her mind. So lately, she's been thinking more about Kakuri. She's been searching the city for regular intervals. She's looking for Kakuri Yoshino. She didn't even know if she was in Tokyo. She had no clues. She didn't even know what Kakuri looked like now. So maybe it was just a waste of time. Even so, she had to find Kakuri herself, but she hadn't any better luck today. She turned around and looked towards the time machine. She would come here every day. Her primary reason for coming to see if her father, Hatsuru Hashida, has been here. Anytime she let her guard down, he would try to come and examine it. She told him it would cause a time paradox, but he didn't listen. She needed to keep it constant on. To be honest, she had a lot of things she had to do. And then she heard the metal door of the roof open again. Was it her dad? She squinted into the darkness. But the person she saw was much smaller than Atsu, and had cat ears coming out of her head.
にゃにゃ。
Meow?
いた。
There you are!
すずに
Listen, meow! Good evening!
ゃん。なんだ、
Oh,
ルミネ
I
ーさん
see you,
か。
big sis Rumi. Fairest Nanya, who had a spring in her step, has approached Shushua.
ルミネーさんって誰のこと
Who's
かな？
Rumi?
フェイ
I'm
スは
Fairest, meow!
ルミネーさんはルミネ
Your
ーさん
big
だよ。
sis Rumi. Fairest's real name was Roma Akaba. She was Daru's friend and has helped them in many different ways since 2036. So Shushua had known her ever since she was very young. And that's why she's always called her Big Sis Rumi. Whatever the reason in this era, she always wanted to be called Fairest, though. When Shushua asked why, her simple response was, Fairest, yeah? Which is an answer that meant nothing to Shushua.
ラボに誰もいなかったから。
Nobody in the lab.
こっちかな？
Nobody was in the
と思った
lab,
ら
so I
正
might
解だ
be
ったにゃ。
here. That's what I was saying.
差し入れ。
I brought you a
あんまり
snack.
予報で悪い
It's
んだけど。
leftovers, though. Farrah showed her cake box with the logo from the Maid Cafe where she worked, May Queen glad
で
Dad
よかった
wasn't
よ。
at the lab. If he ate something like this, or he would even get fatter.
ダルニャンじゃなくて、
It's not for
スズメへ
Daria.
の差し入れね。
It's for you.
私に
For me?
なんで
Why?
にゃふふ。
Yeah.
好きなくせ
You
に。
know, you love it. Mary screamed and then nudged Shishua to the side with her elbow.
私は別に。
Don't.
アップルタルトにも。
There's an apple tart,
あと、
a mochi block, and a piece of strawberry shortcake tea.
ほら。
See?
おいしそう
Doesn't
だ
it
な。
look good? Yeah. Ferris opened the box and showed her what's inside. Shishua could smell the sweet cream and fruit.
さあ、今すぐおい
Come
し
on,
く食べる
eat
から
up.
にゃ。
Don't worry
食べるといいにゃ。
about it. Yeah.
ほら。
I'll be one. I'll
そ
be
のくら
right
いいお口に食べさせてあげるにゃ。
Yeah.
で、冷蔵庫にしまって。
I'll put it in the fridge for tomorrow.
すずにゃんは
That's not just so just your son, yeah? Ferris laughed and handed over the box.
賞味期限は明
They
日
expire tomorrow, so make sure you eat up before they do, yeah?
ありがとう。
Thank you.
どういたしまして。
You're welcome. Ferris gave a mischievous wink and looked up the time machine beside them.
ダルニャンのタイム
How's
マシン
Cyrus
研
time
究の方は
machine
どうかにゃ。
research going?
頑張ってはいるみ
He's
たい。
working hard, I guess.
ルミ姉さん、
Thanks, sister me.
このマシン、
Is it okay
ま
to
だこ
leave
こに
this
置いておいても
machine here? Shishua looked around the roof as she asked. It was solely thanks to Ferris that no one had really noticed the massive object on the roof. She was the heir to a rich family that had a lot of influence in this area and had contributed a lot to the development of Akabara. She was helping to hide the time machine.
このフロア、
I rented out this whole floor
フェイリスが
or
取り
roof,
上
I
げちゃ
guess.
ったから平
It's
気にゃ。
fine, yeah?
オーナーさんには
I told the owners that we are developing a VR game. It's not the best excuse in the world, but it works.
助かるよ。
It's a huge help.
気にしないでいいにゃ。
Don't worry
こ
about
の
it.
世界の
I'm always ready to help you
たちの魔の手
save
から
the
救う
world.
ためなら、
World
フェイリ
elements
スはいつで
from
も
the
協
VR.
力するにゃ。
Yeah?
そ
Hold on, tips. Baki. Wind distillery creatures that appear in Cthulhu mythos. They are created by August Destler, the co-creator of the Cthulhu mythos, along with H.P. Lovecraft, and they appear in such stories as the House of Tree. And they are described as being Sharma-like creatures around 3 meters tall, with the wings of a Prepator and the legs of an eagle, and a tail like a bee. Despite their terrifying appearance, they understand human speech, and as if they feel their best interest, they can work together with humans. In space, they usually just travel around 1/10 of light speed. But an organ called the hume in the tail allows them to fly faster than the speed of light. The Bakis are supposedly servants of Hastu, the god of shepherds, creation of Amabosbeash, the author of the famous Devil's Dictionary. Whew! That was a mouthful. The four spirits who control the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. Their existence was the first proposed by the swift alchemist Pashu in his book, The Books of Fairies. He described them as being not dead, like ghosts, but not alive like humans, but being a spiritual creatures that extremely nebulous to nature. The Palashes struggled to explain why exactly they were, and in the end, they classified them as things. He divided them as follows. The element of earth is controlled by the Pyramus gnomes. The element of water is controlled by the nymphs of the water, or the Endolites. The element of fire is controlled by the salamanders of fire, or the Volgorns. The element of air is controlled by the sylphs of the wind, or the Pelicus Sirius had a huge effect on alchemists and authors, both on his own later generations, who filled in the gaps of his work. In the fantasy genre in particular, the elements have become a mainstay. Whew, that was also a mouthful.
そう。
Right.
昔から
Since
Yeah.
many years ago,
今からし
well,
たら未来
I
か
guess many years in the future,
思ってた
I've
んだ
been
けどさ、
wondering
ルミ姉さんの話って
what you
時
say
々
is
すごく
really
難
hard to
しくなるんだ
understand.
よね。一
What
体
language
何
is
語？
that?
考えるんじゃない。
Don't
感
think,
じるん
yeah?
や。
deal?
いいやいいや。
Oh, come on.
寒い
It's
に
so
ゃ。
cold.
フェリス
I
も
think I'm
お
going
家に帰ろうか
home.
にゃ。
Yeah. In the end, she never could get an answer. To Shushuba, Ferris was always a great mystery. Well, she is a great mystery. But after all, she's a cat girl. She's a cat girl. She's a cat girl with a Kasulu mythos.
送っていくよ。
I'll walk you
一緒に
home.
出よう。
Let's go together.
それ
Yeah?
じゃあついでに
And you can
うちでご
have
飯を
dinner
食
at
べ
my
たいんや。
place, too.
そういうつもりで言ったわ
That
けじゃないんだけ
wasn't
ど。
what I meant.
どうせ普段
You
大
never
し
eat
たもの食べ
anything
てない
real
よ。
food. Do you, Mia?
すずにゃんのストイック
Whenever
さ
I
見てる
see
と、
how
フェ
stoic
リス
you
が
are,
な
I
んと
always
かして
feel
あげ
like
にゃ
you.
きゃ
I
って
have
思っ
to
ちゃ
do
うにゃ。
something, Mia.
保護欲
Like a
母性
protective
と
or
にか
a
く
motherly.
そういうのがかき
There's
立てら
something
れる
in
のにゃ。
like that within me. No wonder why I felt like okay, so if you don't know, when I was going through the other endings of the original game, I kind of came up with the theory that originally Ferris was going to be her mother, but I was like, that doesn't make sense because where would she get the name Amai from? And then it's like, this game makes it so much easier with here's Yuki.
私は大丈夫だから。
Just fine. Before she finished her sentence, she felt someone looking at her. She glanced around. Yeah?
どうしたのにゃ？
What is it? She listened carefully. She definitely heard a very faint sound from the direction of the middle door that led to the stairs. It was small enough that Shusha was only able to notice it because of her training.
誰かいる。
Someone's there.
にゃにゃ。
Nya nya.
多分話を聞かれ
They
た。
probably heard us. Most of the discussion was worthless, but if they talked about the time machine a little, if someone heard that. Shusha yanked her gun out of her jacket in an instant and ran up the stairs as fast as she could. She heard someone running down the stairs as soon as she did. The sound, heavy military boots in a wide stride, got her further and further away.
早い。
They're fast! She opened up the door and jumped onto the landing. She raced down the stairs, skipping 3 steps with each stride. But still, it wasn't fast enough. She was born fast, and she's been trained to be faster, but it still wasn't enough. When she finally made it to the second floor, she could hear the louder rearing of a motorcycle.
まず、
Oh no! She panicked and slipped on an object that had been left halfway up the stairs, then rolled her way to the bottom. She managed to get into the right position and protect her head so it was her hips that struck the ground. Ugh. She forced herself to stand up and run outside. She could see the taillights of a large motorcycle speeding away. The driver was wearing a black helmet and riding a stick, and already got a good distance away. Couldn't even tell if it was a man or a woman. They revved their engine loudly, as if to mock her, and then spun the corner and disappeared onto Center Street.
すずにゃん。
Suzunya! A little later, Ferris caught up.
大丈夫かにゃ。
Are you okay, Nya?
逃げられた。
I got away.
それしまった方
Put
がいい
that
にゃ。
away, Nya. Oh. She put the gun in her hand to jacket holster and brushed away hair that sweat that struck to her brow.
今の誰にゃ。
Who was that, Nya?
わからない。
I don't know.
けど一般人じゃない。
We're not
訓練されてる
civilians,
と思う。
but they've been trained.
訓練？
Trained?
階段に何か
Was
落
there
ちてなか
anything
った。
on the stairs?
バッグが転がってた
A
にゃ。
bag, Nya.
ちょうど視覚になる位置だった。
Was it right where I
多
couldn't
分
see?
わざと落としたんだ
It
よ。
was right where I couldn't
し
see
か
it.
も
They probably
私がそこを
dropped
通
it
るタイミングで
deliberately
エ
as
ン
they
ジンを
revved their
空
engine
ぶかし
right
した
as。I was coming by it.
見事に引っかかったよ。
I fell for it.
トラップってこ
I
と
mean,
か
it
にゃ。
wasn't a trap, Nya.
ああいうことがとっさにで
Only
きるっていう
someone with
のは
special training
特殊な
could
訓
do
練
that
を受けてる
on
からだ。
a moment's notice.
じゃなきゃ無理。
No one else could. So I glared in the direction the bike disappeared and started to sink. Who was it? CERN? There There was an unofficial CERN group of the Rounders that were searching for the IBAN 5100 from Okabe. Rantaro Okabe told her that, but he only counted them in another world movie.
誰かはわからないけ
I
ど
don't know who it was.
私たちの他
It's
に
clear that
タイム
someone
マシン
other
の
than
ことを
us
知ってる
knows
やつがい
about
るのは
time
間違
machine.
いない
Just that they knew about it, but they weren't going to do any more. Or did they intend to steal the time machine from her? Since she didn't know, she had to assume the worst, or she wouldn't be prepared to deal with it. She looked up the sky inside, as if becoming a bad habit.
ねえ
Hey,
ルミ姉さん
big sister me.
こ
Don't
のこ
tell
とは
Uncle
オカリン
Okura
おじ
and
さ
the
んに
others,
は内
okay?
密になんで
Now, why?
今のオカリ
If
ンおじ
Uncle
さんが知っ
Okura
た
knew
ら
about it,
タイ
he
ムマ
might
シンを
say it
破壊
was
しろって
too
言いかねない
dangerous, and that we had to
危険だから
destroy the time machine,
でしょ
you know?
そうにゃけど
That's true.
私は絶対にマシンを
I'm
守る
going
よ
to protect the time
シュタイ
machine,
ンズ
no
ゲー
matter
トの
what.
入り口へ
I need to take
オカリン
Uncle
おじさんを
Uncle
連れて行かな
Okran
きゃ
to
い
the
けないんだ
entrance
か
of
ら
STEINS Gate.
それが未来の父さんと
That
の
was the promise I made to my
私
dad,
をここに送り出してくれた人
to
たち
all
み
the
んなとの
people who
約束だ
sent
か
me
らさ
here.
すずにゃ
Listen, yeah.
わかったにゃ
All right,
その
yeah.
代わり
In
ダルニャ
exchange,
にだけ
just
は
make
ちゃ
sure
んと
you
話し
tell
ておくこ
Darunya.
とオキドキ
Okie dokie. The last part was almost a whisper as her words melted into Akabara's sky. Maru Hajujo was whispering. She knew exactly why, but she still wanted to admit it.
魔法
Maho,
準備はできたかい
are you ready?
Ah,
Oh, yeah! She awkwardly stood up from the chair as Dr. Lexkin spoke to her.
うん
何ですか
What?
少しはお
I
め
had
か
thought
しす
you
る
put
かと思った
some
んだ
more
が
effort
魔
into
法は
it,
マイペースだ
but I
ね
guess not. Dr. Lexkin stared at her for a moment and then spoke. It's obvious that he was referring to her outfit.
この前みたいに
Not
パーテ
going
ィーに
to
出
a
席
party
するわけ
like
じゃな
I
い
was
んですから
as last time.
あの時だって
You
白
wore
衣のま
your
まだ
lab
ったじゃ
coat
ない
to
か
that too.
あれは服を
That was because I forgot my clothes!
そうだったね
That's right. Dr. Lexkin was wearing his translator at all times these days. In fact, he actually told Maru to talk to him in Japanese.
さて
Now
ク
then,
リスとリ
I
タ
can't
ロ
wait
は
to see what
どういう
kind
関
of
係
a
を築いている
relationship
か
Lato and Katsuru have established. Tato. Maru and Dr. Lexkin were about to head to Tokyo proper. They were to meet Rantaro Okabe. It has been 2 weeks since they first asked him to test Amadeus. It was time for the first report. Of course, that was the reason Mao was fidgeting. She was nervous to meet Okabe. No, to see Katsuru for the first time in quite a while. Of course, Maru was able to talk to Katsuru anytime she wanted, but since she asked Okabe to be a tester, she tried to avoid doing so much as possible. She didn't want her to conversations at any extra noise.
教授
Professor,
出発する
before
前
we
に
leave,
一
can I
つ
ask
聞いて
something?
も
なんなる意図
Whatever you like.
なぜ岡部さんなんで
Why
すか
Okabe? I wanted to ask Dr. Luskin for that a long time. If she was going to ask it though, now was the time.
うん
Dr. Luskin thought for a minute.
嫉妬しているのかい魔
Are
法
you jealous, Maru?
それは
She felt her heart flush to her face. In other words, he was right. Yeah, she was jealous of Okabe. Sounds like she wanted to admit it.
正直
To be honest,
納得はしていません
it bothers me.
クリスの話し相手な
There
ら
are other people who
他に
could
も適
hear
任がい
her
たはずです
conversation partners.
例えば
You,
君
for
とか
instance.
そうは言いません
I'm not saying
私はクリスと
I'm
も
too close to
アマデウスと
Katsuru
も近すぎ
and
ますから
Amadeus.
リンタロウはいい青年だ
Linto
よ
is a good guy.
本気でそう信じてい
If
る
you
なら
really believe in
教授は
that,
お人よしです
you're naive.
人の本質を
It's impossible to
一
really
度会っただけ
understand
で理解する
someone
ことなんて
after only
不可
one
能です
meeting.
よ
Well, after only meeting them once.
もし彼が私たちに隠れて 他の研究者にアマデウスを売り渡してしまったら
What if he secretly sells Amadeus to another lab?
最初はそのつもりはな
Even
かっ
if
た
he
として
doesn't
も
plan to at
お金
first,
を前にした
he
ら
might
気持ちが
change
揺
his
らぐ
mind
ことだってあ
if
り
they
ます
throw him enough
そ
money.
れが人間というもので
That's
す
human nature.
仮にリンタロウが
Let's say
エムデウスを
Lintoro
売っ
did
た
sell
としよ
Amadeus.
う。それで
What would happen then?
アクセス権を手に入れた何者かは
Whatever got
Crystal
her
仲良
access
くな
rights
って
before becoming
エ
your
ムデウ
friends
ス
with
そ
the
のも
Coster.
のを乗っ取ったりで
Take
きるか
over
な
Amadeus.
それは
Myra asked herself the question and realized the chances was almost zero.
ありえません
That would be impossible.
そう
Yes,
ありえない
it's impossible.
なぜならそんな
Because
事態
if
にな
that
れ
ever
ば
happened,
クリスの方が
Coster
対
would
話
have
を拒否
refused
する
to
だろ
talk
うから
to
ね
them.
エムデウスはそう
In
いう
that
意
sense,
味で
Amadeus
とても
is
面
a
倒くさ
very
いシステ
different,
ムだよ
difficult system.
なかなか
It
こちら
doesn't
の思い通
do
り
what
に
you
は
want
動いてくれない
it to.
もちろんエム
Of
デウス
course,
が
it
説
is
得され
possible
る
that
可能性も
Amadeus
あるだろ
would
うけれ
you've
ど
persuaded.
そのために
But if
私
you
は
could
モデル
say
となる
that
人格
why
に
I chose
クリスと魔法を
you
選
and
んだと
Coster
思って
as
いる
the
わけね
models. Baxter gave her a mischievous wink.
私もクリス
Both
も
Coster and I
気
had
難しい
difficult
ですからね
the
そうやすやすと
personalities.
説得はさ
It'd
れ
be
ない
hard
でし
to
ょう
persuade us to do anything. He knew he was teasing her, but so she decided to say it.
いかにも
Indeed,
君たちは
you
本
two
当
are
に
really
容赦ない
merciless. Merciless.
これぞ最
That's
強の
just
セ
the
キ
best
ュリティだ
security
よ
I could get.
けなされているように聞こえ
That
るんで
sounds
す
like
が
an insult.
君たちは
You
我が
two are
研
the
究室で
finest
誇る
ladies of
最
our
強のレディ
institution
ー
has
さ
to offer. Aren't they the only ladies in the institution? Dr. Liskin laughed happily. He always had a childlike innocence about him.
いずれにせよ
Either
エム
way,
デウスの
the Amadeus
AI
AI
は
is
一筋
tricky
縄ではい
system.
かないわけで
You
ね
could say
だ
that
からこ
what
そ
makes
面白い
it
とも言えるそんな彼女たちを
keeping them to
身内だ
ourselves
けで独
wouldn't
占して
bring
いて
us
も
any
しょうが
progress,
ないだろ
will it?
うエムデウスが劇
I've been
的な
thinking
進化を
about
遂げる
how
た
I
めの
wanted to
起
find
爆剤
a
のような
catalyst
もの
that
が
would
ちょうど欲し
be a
いと考
prompt
えていた
Amadeus
と
to
ころな
really evolve.
しかも
And I
なる
wanted
べ
it
く
to
研
be
究とは無
someone
関
who
係
didn't
な
have
人物
anything
に
to do
預
with
けてたん
the
だ
research.
ウィンターローはそう思い
Lintaro
出
is
し
smart,
適
and I
任だ
think
と思
he's
った
a
んだ
good choice.
クリスの友
He's
人
also
でもあ
a
ったわ
friend
け
of
だし
Coster's. In another world line. I had to point that one out.
とりあえず
Anyways,
今
why
日の
not
報告
see
次
what
第
he
で
says
判
today
断してもいい
before
んじゃ
you
ないか
decide?
クリスがリンターローと
First,
過ごし
let's
て
see how
どう
Coster
変化
has
したの
the
かを
change
見
since
極めてからだ
she
ね
started spending
私たち
time
が
with
見たことのないよ
Lintaro.
うな
We
意
may
外
see a
な
side
一
of her
面を
that
覗
we've
かせて
never
くれる
seen
かもしれ
before.
ないよ
はい
Yeah. That was making her nervous. If Coster has changed into something she didn't know, that would make her sad.
そろそろ時間だ
Time.
リオ
Let's go. Maru nodded. I walked into the ground of the Yanabai shrine and quietly looked around. Several cats were sunbathing under the cold winter sky, but there was no sign of anyone else. Lukuro wasn't back from school yet. Okay. I could talk to Coster without anyone staring at me here. I was supposed to meet with Dr. Litskin and Maru after this. Before that happened, I wanted to confirm something with Coster. I decided to start the app. Whenever I talked to Coster, I needed to pay attention to where I was. People would stare if I didn't in a crowded place. And I couldn't do that around my family or anyone I knew. In that sense, with the exception of the fact that Lukuro and Maru might show up, yet Yanabai Shrine wasn't a bad spot. Hello.
話がある
We need to talk.
今日はこの後教
You're
授
meeting
や
with
先輩に会う
Professor
予
and
定
Maru after this, right?
その件につ
Is
いて
that what this is about?
あ
Yeah.
緊張する必要は
Is
な
there
いんじ
any
ゃない
reason to be nervous?
基本的にはログを
Basically,
提出
you're
して
turning over the
あと
logs
はあん
and
た
then
から見た私
they'll
が
ask
どん
you
な
some
印象だった
quick
のか
questions about your
聞かれるぐらい
impressions
だと
of
思う
それだ。ログだよ。
The log.
それを聞きたかっ
That's
た。
what I wanted to talk about.
もしかしてこれまでの
Have all of our conversations
全
been
部記録されてる
recorded?
のか。
最初に話したでし
I
ょ。
told you that's when we started, right?
私以外
I
アクセ
keep
ス
logs
不
in
可能
place
に
where nobody but me can access them. Were you not listening?
それを今回
And you're going to
教授と
submit
ヒ
them
ヤジョウ
to
さん
the
に提出す
professor
る
and
のか。
Hajo?
多分そう
Probably.
ということは
Which means if
プラ
I
イベートな
say
ことをお前に喋ろうものなら
personal to
Hiyajo
you to
san
his
ya.
Dr. Liskin,
レスキネン教授
and
に
Maru
続け
will
っていう
hear
こ
it?
あんたね
He's just realizing this now? Yeah, I was a little late. Coster and I have been talking for 2 weeks. I shouldn't have asked about this when I got the access key for Amadeus.
今日になって気づいたんだ。
Realized today.
なあ、俺
Hey, have I told you anything I shouldn't have so far?
例えば
Like the fact that you were barely able to talk to any girls at the matchmaking party? Or the fact that your family sells vegetables, but you hate eggplants?
ナスは嫌いなんじ
I
ゃ
don't
ない。
hate eggplants.
苦手
It's
なんだ
not
け
very
ど
good at eating them. That was all. I didn't really care.
あんたが最初に
Or
私
the
と
fact
話した
that
時に
the first time
ク
we
リスティーナ
talked, you called me
Leon Dakoto ka?
Christina. Ugh! Oh fuck! We did do that.
それについては忘れてくれ。
Forget that.
人の記憶は
Human
曖昧
memories
で
are
時間が経てば経つほど時間が
ambiguous.
混じる
As
し
many times
物語
as
が
time
付
passes,
与
they
されてい
become
く
more subjective and tend to be compressed into a single narrative.
その内容が
Regardless of whether
positive
the
な
memory
ネ
is
ガ
a
ティ
good
ブ
or a
な関係な
bad one, it's
印象
common
的
to
な
only
言
be
葉
able
し
to
か
remember the
思い出
words
さない
that
こと
left
が
an
多い
impression. And
そ
that
れに引き
impression
ずられ
will
て
often
前
alter
後の
your
会話の
memories
記
of the
憶は
surrounding
縮められていく
conversation. Huh? What was she talking about?
それが悪いことだと言ってる
I'm
わ
not
けじゃない
saying that it's
人の
a
記憶
bad
と
thing.
いうのは
It's
そ
just
うい
how
うもの
human
なんだ
memory works.
でも
But
アマデウ
Amadeus
スは
isn't
人
a
じゃな
human.
い
It's an
まだ
incomplete,
研究段階
an
の不完全な
incomplete
AI よ
AI, still in the research stage.
これは教
This
授
is
た
a
ちに
big
とって
problem for
大き
Maru
な壁
and
の一
the
つなんだけど
professor. But actually, Amadeus
人の
still
持つ曖昧さを
still can't
アマデウスは
perfectly
まだ完
replicate
全
the
には再現できていない
ambiguity of human memories.
つまりね
In other
忘
words,
れるという
it
脳
can't
の高度な
completely
機能
replicate the
So they
high-level
don't
brain
completely
functions
know
that
what
is forgettably.
で
Huh?
も
But at the
UTF で
AFC
のレスキネ
seminars,
ン教授の
didn't
講演
that
だと
Dr. Linkstein
Amadeus
say that Amadeus
不
would
必要な
forget
ことを忘れ
unneeded
てしまうって
information?
え
Yes,
え確か
I
に
do
忘れ
forget
るわ
things, but
けど言ったでし
remember
ょ
what I said.
私たち
I
は
record things
ま
in
る
the
で
logs
秘
like
密の日記のよう
like
に
it's my
具を取って
secret
るって
diary.
結局
So in
そ
the
の
end,
中には
all
全
the
ての情報が
information
残っ
is
てしま
still
ってるわ
kept
け
in there.
そして
And
そ
if
れ
I
を
load
ロードして
that,
くれば
all the
忘
data
却した
I
はず
should
の
have
データが
forgotten
私
will
の
come
記憶に戻っ
flooding
てきて
back
しま
to
う
me. Okay?
うん
In other words, asking her to forget what it was a waste of time.
代替案はログを消
Another
すこと
plan
だ
would
け
be
ど
to delete my logs.
私にとっ
But
て
those are my
バック
backup,
アップだか
so
ら
that's
絶
not
対
happening.
仮に一箇所だけ
Even if
消
I
去して
could
も同
delete
じ
one area, the
前
result
後の
would
文
be the
脈を
same.
参照して
I would analyze
そ
the
の不自
surrounding
然に消去さ
conversation
れた箇
and
所を自動
automatically
的に修
reconstruct
復
the
してし
missing
まう
portion.
それでもなん
If
と
you
か
want
記
to
憶を
alter
改
my
ざんし
memory,
たいというのなら
you'd have to mess with the primary program. I didn't have that level of access, and I didn't understand how the program worked at all. So basically, until I told Coster why I called her Christina, she was gonna keep asking. What a pain. Just tell her about the other world line, you dummy. So,
どうして
why
ク
Christina?
リスティーナ
You really
本
don't
当に引き
give
下
up,
がら
do
ない
you?
な
I'll hang
今
up
すぐ通
right
話を
now
切ってもいい
if
んだ
I
ぞ
have to.
そうやって逃げたって
Even if you run as I just explained,
私は
I
忘れない
won't forget.
はぐらかされ
The
る
more you try to
かえっ
change
て
the
気になって
subject,
し
the
ょうが
more
なくなるの
interested I
よ
get,
ね
you know?
それともあえて
Or
そう
is
する
this
こと
just
で
a ploy to
私
get
に
me
構って
to
ほしい
pay
っていう
attention
合図を送ってる
to you?
ってちゃんはお前だろう。
One who wants
こっちが大
attention.
学の講義を
You
受けて
call
る
me
最中で
in
も
the middle of the you call me in the you call me in the middle of my university lectures.
それだけじゃなく
Not only that, you message me all the time on the Rhine. Fictional. An instant messaging app developed by Arito Hashida. If most users have it installed, they can communicate with another via voice and chat. Since it's privately developed software, it isn't available on the internet. Right now, only Hashido and his friends and acquaintances use it. You got too much curiosity. If you keep poking your head into things, one of these days, you're going to regret it. A scientist can't function if they are not curious. She got mad at me. No! If you're that interested, why I call you Christina? Why not come up with a theory for yourself? I have a few, actually. Listen to these. She's really into this.
可能性その1
Theory 1.
あんたは
You got a crush on the Hollywood actress named
ハリウッド女優
Christina.
が好きである
You think you got the looks of a Hollywood actress?
見た目は関係ない
Looks don't matter.
同じ
like
名前
how-
の人に親近感を持つのと
It's like how you feel closeness to someone with the same name.
つまりこう言いたいわけか。
So what you're saying, in other words,
私は
Ventura Okabe
親近感
feels
を持
close
たれている
to me. It's just an example. Don't try to read too deeply into it.
冗談だよ。
It's a joke. Whenever I talk to Katsuru, I always want to tease her. I needed to watch out.
可能性その2
Theory number 2.
あんたが
You
昔
once
付き合っていた
dated
彼
a
女が外国人で
foreign girl
クリ
named
スティーナ
Christina.
っていう名前だったこれについては
Given your
あん
terrible
たの絶
English
望的な
abilities,
英語力を聞く限り
this one's out of the question, huh?
もしかしたら
It's possible that I dated a blonde babe who also spoke fluent Japanese, isn't it? You're right, because you dated people, okay? No, but I relate. I fucking relate to his love life. Minus the part that I actually, feel romantic.
もしかしたの
Did you?
う
As much as I joke about Okurin's love life, his love life is actually more memorable than mine.
沈黙は敗北を
Silence
認め
is
る
the
ことと
mission
同
of
意よ
defeat.
すいません。
Sorry.
可能性その
Theory
3
3.
オ
You
リジ
knew
ナル
the
の私と面
original
識があって
and called her that either
あるいは間
directly
接的
or
にそう呼んでい
indirectly.
た
Up, she nailed it right on the coffin.
これも確率低いで
This
しょう
is
ね
also unlikely.
そん
For
な
if
風
you
に
called
呼ば
me
れた
that,
ら私
you
なら
know
こう
what
答え
I'd
る
say.
ティーナってつける
Stop adding Tina. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what Crosshair said. But I didn't stop because
照れくさかったんだ。
I was embarrassed. The genius named Crosshair Matsuki was the person I always wanted to see.
どういうこ
What
と
do you mean?
素直に名前を呼べな
I
いから
couldn't bring myself to say her name,
照れ隠し
so
で
I came up with a nickname.
あえて着した言い方をした。
照れくさい
Embarrassment?
あ
Yeah. Not just
Original
with
だけじゃな
the
くて。
original either.
と
It happens when
お前
I'm
と話すのも
talking to you too.
私
Me?
何しろ
I mean,
モニターの
I
中
have
にいる
never
女の子と
talked
話す
to
な
a
んて
girl inside
一度
a
もない経験だ
monitor
ったから
before. Hi, chat. I'm a girl in your monitor. You can talk to me. I'm not scary. I'm just a lying girl on the internet. I'm just a lying girl inside your monitor right now. Why are you blushing?
赤くなんてなってないし。
I'm not! Stop it, you're feeling love for him.
ただ
I just
女の子扱いされる
the
なん
fact
て
that
思
you
ってもみなかっ
treat
た
me
から
like a girl
ちょっとびっくりした
surprised
だ
me
け
a little. It's like talking to a real person. Even that reaction was just like Kastoru.
俺は
That
お
part of
前
you.
のそういうところが
I really
好き。
But you know, got your tongue. You perso queen. You need a piece. I shuddered. What was I about to say? This was the 3D. This was a 3D model on a screen. A tiny collection of zeros and ones in the shape of a human. What was I about to say to her? Oh, he loves an AI. Oh, look. It's okay, chat. You can love it. You can love anime girls on the internet. You're absolutely allowed to love these cute little anime girls on your monitor. Like I am one right now. Can I ask you something?
私たち
We
知
knew
り
each
合い
other,
だったのよね
didn't we?
つまり
I mean,
あんたとオリジ
you
ナ
were
ルの
the
私がって
original.
いう意味だけど答えたくないならそれ
If
でい
you
いけど
don't want to tell me, that's
どう
fine.
いう関係だったの
What,
少し
what was our relationship? I'm kind of curious.
クリスティーナって呼ば
Did
れ
I
て
get
も
mad when you called
私
me
は怒らな
Christina?
かった
Or did I get mad but then laugh and forgive you?
あ
死にたくないよ
I was hit with a violent urge to throw up. I could see Coster in front of me, covered in blood. She looked at me, her eyes cold.
あんたが私を殺したの
どうしたのね
Hey,
え顔が真っ青
I'm pale. I touched the smartphone and ended the call. Then I became too dizzy to stand. I tried to throw up, but nothing came out. My hands were shaking. That's right. I can't change reality. But there I was, trying to talk to Coster like nothing had happened. I was treating her like the real Coster and trying to avert my eyes from what I've done. I just clinging to Costeru. This was wrong. I shouldn't talk to Coster anymore. The call was from Costeru. I hung up in the middle of the conversation because he was probably mad.
なんだ
What is it?
なんだじゃ
You
な
know
い
exactly what it is.
急に
It's
切るなんて
rude
失
to
礼
just hang up.
どうかしたの
Something wrong?
なんでもない
Nothing.
でもひどい
You
顔
look
色して
so
るじゃない
pale.
本当になん
It's
でもない
nothing. Really. Leave me
放ってお
alone.
いてくれ
It'd help a lot
しばらく
if
連
you
絡して
wouldn't
こないでくれると
talk to me for a while.
助かる
あまり無理せずに
Don't push
誰か
yourself
知
too
り合い
hard.
に連絡しなさいよ
Contact somebody you know, okay?
それじゃ
Bye. Katsuru gave up. Gave up easier than I expected. Maybe she realized that as artificial intelligence, there was nothing she could do. Realized? I was making her sound like a real person. And then the second of that crossed my mind, I almost saw the image of bloody hands. I gritted my teeth and waited for it to pass. I should really turn my smartphone off until I calmed down a little. I was fine just a moment ago, but now even hearing Coster's voice was enough to send me into a panic. I'd gone back to how I was half a year ago. Back then, even hearing Coster's name was enough to make me dizzy.
手を出すべきじゃ
I shouldn't have messed with
なかった
this. I shouldn't have tried to chase Coster's shadow. For now, I should just turn off the smartphone. But in the end, I couldn't make that decision. I gulped down the entire bottle of mineral water and caught my breath. There was still a little time before my meeting. I wanted to get some air and recover a little bit. I looked down over the scenery above the overpass. The city in the Christmas spirit. The atmosphere was charged with excitement. It's the exact opposite of me. I took more deep breaths. I still felt like I wanted to throw up. I was getting a headache too. If I went to Dr. Langston like this, I'm sure I'd worry him. And then I realized that the two girls coming up the stairs were looking at me. I peered into the late afternoon darkness and tried to make out their faces. One of them, the girl with the short haircut, waved. I knew it! It's Okarin!
こんにちは。
Hi there.
あ
Oh,
あ、マユリ
you're
の
Maru's
友達の。
friends. They're Maru's friends and fellow cosplayers. I think their cosplay's names were Kadede and Fubuki. I didn't know their real names. Which was Kadede and which was Fubuki? One on the left is Fubuki and the one on the right is Kadede.
大丈夫ですか？
Are you
具合
okay?
悪そうで
You
すけ
look
ど。
so good.
あ
I'm
あ、大丈夫。
fine. If I made them worry here, they talk to Maru, it would cause a big fuss. I don't want her to worry about me when she didn't have to. I shouldn't have come back to Akabara anyways. I've run into people I knew just walking through town. I should have gone towards the Kanada when I left the shrine.
オカリンさんってい
You
つ
always
も
look like
なんだ
you're
か辛そうに
hurting
見えます。
somehow, Okarin.
そうか。
Do I?
そうだよ。
You do!
ふぶきちゃん、
Fubuki.
そんなオカリンさん
And
を
when
見てる。
Masu looks at you,
マユシン
she
も
looks
辛
like
そう
she's
で。
in pain too.
私もオカ
And
リン
when
さ
I
んと
see
マ
her
ユシンの
look
ことを見て
at
ると、
you, I feel like
泣きそうに
I'm
なって。
going to cry.
私、
Wait,
何
what am I saying? This Fubuki girl must really care about Maru. I felt a little better after hearing that.
オカリンさんの好きな人って誰
Who's
で
the
すか？
girl you like? Huh? The girl I like? An image of Coster appeared in the corner of my eyes again. The feeling in my hands when I took her life came back. You made things so much worse, Fubuki. No, calm down.
オカリンさん、
Okay?
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
失礼なことを聞い
I
ちゃっ
was
て。
rude to ask.
私、
I...
オカリンさん、
Okarin?
本当に大丈夫ですか？
Are you really okay?
え
Yeah! I'm
大丈夫。
fine! Kadede and Fuki were looking at me worried. I got away from them as fast as I could. Not gonna lie, that seems like a perfect time to end for tonight. Now, I know it's a Saturday and I could go longer, but I don't wanna. So I'm just gonna save the game for myself. And close the game for myself. That way I can talk to you, chance. As pretty anime girl in your pretty anime girl in your monitor. I might refer to myself as that for a while. The pretty lying girl on your on your monitor. I love that tone. I love that the vibe. The anime girl on your monitor. That's kind of where we guys. you all for coming out tonight. I really enjoyed it, even if I was just doing a little bit of things going on. So things are. I should be back on Tuesday for more pistolation in the Diabolical Box. We are going. Where we go? I must go. I'm actually starting to kind of feel sick to my stomach a little bit, so I gotta make sure I end shortly. But we're gonna send love over to Scarlett, and so we're gonna send some love over to Scarlett, and like I said, I'll be back on Tuesday for more for Layton and Diabolical Box. What am I doing next Saturday? I have no clue as of right now. That's just kind of how things are going today. It's like, what is it? I have no clue. So we'll just figure it out. I'll get all stuck in a bucket, and I'm gonna end stream and get all stuck in a bucket in a rug, and figure out what I'm gonna do about a little bit of my stomach. It's not like because I'm like facing anything dramatic or anything like that, but it's like he did that to himself. Honestly, he did that to himself. Well, but I was absolutely goddamn right that this game is definitely much darker than the first. Much darker. There's so much going on. It's really hard to keep chill. It's like, whoa, man, we're gonna have to. So, till Tuesday. Goodbye.